In many African cultures, a boy proves his come of age by showing his independence. And one of the biggest signs, building a house on his father's native land. But times have changed. Today, most young people are building their lives in the cities, and those rural houses often end up sitting empty, almost wasted. This couple found a genius way to honor tradition and make the investment count. They built a house fully portable, one they can live in right here in Nairobi, then later move it to Homabay. That's the kind of smart I love seeing, especially in tiny spaces. Meet Jay and Pendo, the owners of Pendo House, a young couple that chose to honor their tradition by building a house that they could enjoy in Nairobi and later move it to their native land. I find this decision very thoughtful, both for their culture, and by culture I mean also their relatives, and also a smart way to invest. Listen to their story.
So, my name is Pendo. I'm 25 years old. I'm a professional caregiver pursuing psychology at the moment. I'm also a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister. Yeah. I'm a friend to many.
Developer,
Yeah.
invested developer.
Now you are a homeowner.
Yes. So now I'm a homeowner, a container homeowner, not just any homeowner. Yes. If you maybe meet people my age out there, you ask them about houses, they'll tell you maybe from places they grew up. But I think growing up, I've wanted to be different, and being different made me research about tiny homes, containers, watching videos, reading about them. Yeah. So I started researching about tiny homes. Let's say my interest developed 5 years ago. I had not seen anything like that in Kenya, so I just kept watching videos and watching videos. I think the market 5 years back wasn't so, like, the information wasn't so out here for me to like come across. So I just used to watch the tiny home videos from maybe outside Kenya, specifically the states. Yeah. So let's say just 5 years before now we got to building, and even being with my partner and telling him about it. Yeah. And it was just the uniqueness they had. They were movable. And then my interest grew into camping, things to do with camping, off-road, going off-road, living off-grid. Maybe when I was thinking about it, it was more about tents and everything. But just the whole idea of being unique, going away from the city. I've grown up in the city since I was a very small baby. So I've always wanted to be away from the city. So how best without, if I don't have money, because at 25, what money do I have? So if I don't have money, how small can I start? Yeah. So I started thinking about it immediately after high school. And that's when I started thinking tiny homes, container homes, motor homes, where people are converting, and my passion grew from there. I used to go on Pinterest still, research about it. I go on YouTube, I watch videos. Now I came across Grace. Grace was the first Kenyan lady who was showcasing containers, and at then I had already started forming family or coming together. We had already met with my partner, so our goal in that line aligned, and we kept watching Grace videos, YouTube videos. We kept at the time when we were watching, we didn't even have the idea of how our home would be. It's like you're just sitting on an idea. We are passionate about something, but we don't have the funds to really like do these things that we are passionate about. And then they were so unique that even talking about them to our friends, like few people really get this thing. Yeah. So that's when I got my partner understands, we just swam and dived into this thing.
My name is Jay, and I am Pendo's partner or spouse or husband. At the time, we were young parents, not young parents, but basically, we just had an infant. She was about 9 months old. This was the time in your life when you're a new parent, very excited, but then you are thinking about the future. You're thinking about a lot of things. You need also to have a connection with your home, and so I went home, and I was told, yes, you've been working in Nairobi, but you have a responsibility to do. You have to fulfill your traditional obligation, which was to build a simba. For those who understand, people who come from Nyanza, Western Kenya, they understand this very well. And so, because I was busy at the time, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and so I thought, what could we do? So I called my wife. At the time, I left them to spend Christmas alone in Nairobi because I was in Shags consulting with the Wazes. And yeah, Pendo here shared a TikTok link of container homes and told me, look, this is your solution. You build your container home from Nairobi, and then you send it packing back to Shags. And so I jumped on the idea. I saw the pricing. Yes, the pricing is quite steep, but I said, look, if I set myself up to do this, let's do it. It will save time. It will be very convenient. You don't have to deal with the hassles of Mafundi and traveling back and forth. We just build it from Nairobi, and then we send it back to Shags, and then we say, Waze, muone, container. There goes your container now. I am a full man. And so that is how the journey started, thanks to the lovely idea of Pendo, and here we are. So this is it's a 40-foot container, 1 bedroom with 1 office and a living space and a kitchen. It is off-grid, sitting on a 50 by 100 plot, commonly known as an 1/8 of an acre in Kenya. And yeah, it's purely off-grid. By off-grid, we mean that 100% of our electricity or power supply is solar. So we are not depending on the national grid. We don't have KPLC problems. I had to brag, but sorry. We have this solution. It's a simple solution. Look, it's a 40-foot container. We do not need to consume that much power. And the concept of living off-grid and living tiny, it's a minimalist idea. So it means that you have also to be very thoughtful about how much power or energy you consume. What you have here is a a 1.5 kV 3-in-1 battery pack. By 3-in-1, it means that you have the inverter inside, you have the battery itself, and what is the other piece? I forget, but usually the controller. It has the capacity to discharge 1000 kilowatts of energy. It means that all your appliances in your space need to be less than 1000 kilowatts to be able to power. With the 1.5 kV battery pack, we have two 400-watt solar panels above the container. So it's capable of powering this small fridge. It can even power a bigger fridge, but this is a 60-watt fridge, small enough. If you're a minimalist, then this is what you should work with. You don't need a big fridge. Huh? Yeah, sustainability manenos. Huh? We have this microwave. This microwave was selected by the owner of the house, who insisted that we must have a microwave despite living minimalist. So she went and did her homework and found, I think it was a 1050 watts microwave, okay? Meaning that we were not so sure if the solar battery pack was able to power it, but miraculously it did. Of course, when you're doing your microwave, you just microwave for 1 minute or less, so you're not consuming so much. This is a coffee maker. This was bought in Paris, France. But it is produced from Italy. This is an Italian company. It's a very nice coffee maker. I love coffee, and so, yeah. You see, coffee time. We have this oven. So we went premium. We have this oven. Unfortunately, we are not able to use this oven because of our power supply. Of course, all ovens are above 2000 watts. So this is something we're not able to do. Although if you want to grill, I think we will do with an outdoor grill rather than an electric. All right, so this was the partition that we made. We decided to partition the living area to create an office space, because we always appreciate some bit of privacy when we're working or reading, and this is something that we love. Pendo really loves to read, and when I'm working, I tend to get distracted a lot with movement. So this is why we chose this sliding door to be able to create that partition. And so we decided that this should be an office space, but then it has an exit, because that goes all the way to the container door. You still have the benefit of having a view outside, because we have this nice vertical window. We have not furnished the office already. Right now we just have a makeshift desk and a seat. Maybe you will get to show them, guys.
Because of minimalism, we thought rather than bringing in a dining table, we attach this to the wall, and then during meals you can open it up and enjoy your meals here. It can also work as a work area. You can come and work here. We are planning on bringing in stools that will sit, at least 2 stools that will sit here. So as part of along the hallway, we have the bathroom. We have the shower switch here. But currently, because we are under solar and we cannot shower using hot water, the switch is not functioning at the moment. Because of the minimalism, we chose a sliding door and not one that opens outside and inside. We chose one that slides, a pocket door. It's called a pocket door. It slides into the wall. So in the bathroom, we have this wash basin. It has storage below here and a mirror, and also storage where we can keep our first aid kits and some towels, some face towels. Then we have our wall hanging toilet, which is a concealed system. Then we have our laundry basket. It fits perfectly right there. Behind it, sometimes it's not visible, but we have the toilet brush. But here we have a glass partition that separates the toilet area and the bathroom, the where you shower, the shower area. Then the shower system we have currently is not working because the power, we don't have electricity, and the solar we have cannot power it. So we bought a portable shower. This shower can be, you just boil water, normal water, maybe on the gas here in the house. Then you come, you power it, the shower, and then it works just like a normal shower. It's the only difference it has from the normal shower is that it's portable. You can use it in here or you can use it outside the house. So welcome to our tiny bedroom. Coming into the bedroom, you can see it's the only room in the house that has color on one side of the wall. So I was inspired to go a bit crazy in the bedroom and just do an English rose. So on the lighting, we really went big on it. We wanted so much light. As I mentioned earlier, the house we live in doesn't have so much light, especially in the bedroom. So we thought, why not? Why not have a window over here and a window over there? And this window, normally when the sun is rising, it wakes you up because there's so much light that will come from the sun through this window.
There was a lot of thinking, a lot of deviations that went into the building and the design of the house. Okay, first of all, we started out like a Simba, so it should have been a small, one bedroom structure with an office, because I am a guy who sometimes likes to work from home. And so, if a Simba, maybe the one time you visit Shags, then you need just a small space to work. That was the thinking behind at the time. And then when we had this, abrupt occurrence of floods and we could no longer access the land, because, we also made another deviation that, look, the house is too beautiful. There's no way we are going to send this to Shags and then visit it after 6 months. We don't go to Shags that often. We are occupied in Nairobi. And so we deviated. Now we said, okay, we're not taking it to Shags. We're taking it to a 50 by 100 plot somewhere in Machakos. Okay, that's the first deviation. And then suddenly April comes, floods, the rains, and 2 bridges swept away on Matungoni Road. I think that's the name of Matungoni Road. And so here we are homeowners without land. So we just have a house without land. And it was a running joke at the time, telling people, look, I'm a full homeowner, but
nowhere to put the home.
Nowhere to put the home.
Yeah.
And so at the time, also financially, you have to think, because it means that you have to look for an alternative. You cannot keep the home in somebody's workshop for that long.
Yeah.
But the 254, container 254, were graceful enough to be patient with us. They told us, don't worry, we will stick with it. Besides, it's a beautiful home. It's helping helping us with the marketing. We're getting more clients. The other reasoning also for deciding to stay with this house in Nairobi also is because we live in Nairobi, in a concrete jungle, you know, the apartments. And every time we were getting frustrated because our daughter will never get to live in a place where she can play with grasses, butterflies, you know, she can play with frogs and just live like, you know, have this connection with the earth. And so this is one of those inspirations that we could give her a very beautiful childhood. And so we decided that maybe we should retain this here and build a small farm, a flower garden where she can, you know, just learn the basic skills together with mom, and we just have fun. Pendo, as she mentioned, she's lived in the city pretty much most of her life, and also this would have been something also for both of us to also enjoy.
If you have a unique story, one that will encourage other people to see, to look at things differently, especially where culture is part of, because we see a lot of people running away from culture because somehow it does not merge with what we consider as modern living. But tiny house tends to create a solution that blends well with both situations. So if you have a unique tiny space, and if you have a beautiful story behind your tiny space, let me know. I'll leave my contacts down here so that you can reach me, and I'd love to come to you and tell your story. Until next feature, bye.